And now it's time for Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk hookup. For the next 2 hours, join Pete Gray, rock cod Rick Maxa, and this week's special expert guest for fishing information, new techniques to catch more fish, and the most current scoop on what's happening in the water. Let's Talk Hookup is sponsored in part by Yamaha Outboards, official motor sponsor of Let's Talk Hookup. Royal Polaris, the world's finest long-range sports fisher. By Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup, and Shimano Rods and Reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. Get ready for the fastest 2 hours on radio with the hosts of Let's Talk Hookup, Pete Gray and Rock God Rick Maxa.
Good morning, anglers, and welcome to Let's Talk Hookup. I'm Pete Gray with Rock God Rick Maxa. Happy Memorial Day weekend. The unofficial start of summer is here, and the fish are biting, and they're here. So we've got the guy that tells you all about it right here in the studio, Ollie from BD Outdoors and FishDope.com. We're going to be talking fishing. We've got a lot of fish to talk about, so you stay tuned to Southern California's sport fishing voice. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the mighty 1090. Spring fishing is finally here. Will it be another banner season? Will it even be better than last year? Will it cool off? Who knows? Fishing is one thing that's impossible to predict. But when it comes to trucks, it's easy to predict who's going to be number one. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for the last 40 years in a row. Today's Ford trucks combine legendary toughness and state-of-the-art technology, giving you the best of both worlds. That's called being California smart. Ford has put it all together with the F-150 STX package. These trucks are nicely equipped with an EcoBoost engine, hands-free system controls, a reverse-sensing camera, 20-inch wheels, and a lot more. All at a price you're going to love. Now, I can't always predict what the fish are going to do, but I can predict that Ford is going to be on the top once again with trucks like the 2017 F-150 STX package. It's California smart. Stop by your San Diego County Ford dealer today. They'll be glad to hook you up.
The Tuna Wars are coming, and you can be a part of the battle. This is Captain Dave Marciano from Hard Merchandise and Nat Geo's hit show, Wicked Tuna. This is your opportunity to fish with me, Captain Paul Herbert, or Captain Greg Meyer, aboard 3 of San Diego's top boats. Now, Paul keeps spouting off about how he's going to win, but frankly, I'm more concerned about Greg. He is one heck of a fisherman and could certainly lead his team to victory. The 2-day trip departs June 21st and returns on the 23rd for weigh-in. Whether you're fishing or not, plan on joining the captain's reception the evening of Tuesday the 20th at the beautiful Valley High restaurant in San Diego Bay, where you can meet and greet all of us and talk tuna with a bunch of great people and have a chance to win some amazing prizes. It's all about taking kids fishing and supporting the great Captain Rollo's Kids at Sea program. So join me, Captain Dave Marciano, for a fun evening at the Valley High and go fishing on one of the 3 top boats with us and catch some tuna. Check CaptainRollos.org for more information. Spots are going fast. Sign up today.
It's time for our Power Pro 30-second seminar, and I tell you what, with Power Pro, what I like about it is the knot strength. You tie a knot with Power Pro, whether it be a John Collins knot, an Albright knot, back-to-back uni, they hold and work with Power Pro.
Yeah, the line is just not stiff. It's the perfect amount of round. It has good abrasion resistance, and it's just easier for connections than other types of line out there.
Indeed. Power Pro at your favorite tackle store, or check out PowerPro.com.
A few years ago, Shimano introduced the Tranx 500 reel, and it changed the way we cast for big fish. Now, by popular demand, Shimano has created 2 new sizes. Introducing the Tranx 300 and 400, available now at your local Shimano dealer. Tranx is the dream reel for throwing big baits and catching big fish. X-Ship and HEG technologies combine to provide massive cranking power with a smooth, effortless retrieve. Plus, Shimano's new Core Protect water-resistant technology provides long-lasting durability in the harshest environment. The new Tranx 300 and 400 are available in 2 gear ratios and 2 different handle designs to cover all fresh and saltwater applications. See the new Tranx 300 and 400 at your local Shimano dealer. Tranx, it's not just a new reel, it's a way to fish. Check Shimano.com for all the details.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the mighty 1090. What perfect timing to have the guys that know all about what's going on fishing right when the fishing starts getting really good. Amazing
aerial photos that we're actually going to hear later on the show, from Tom Green, the pilot, who takes a lot of those shots about all this fish that are around. And actually a pilot that shows you a lot of fish that's around is sitting right next to me, Ali from BD Outdoors and Fish Dope. Morning, Ali.
Morning, guys. How are you?
Great. What's going on at Fish Dope and BD Outdoors?
Man, same old. Like you just said, the season's kind of kicking off. I mean, we've been in here for 15, 20 minutes, and we haven't shut up about
seriously.
bluefin.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think yesterday was kind of that day that was maybe the tipping point to the start of the bigger fish season, it seems like. You know, there were some bigger fish caught, and, man, how about those photos? The volume is just crazy.
Sick. Volume. I posted on our Facebook page this morning just a few of the shots that Tom Green, and Instagram also, that Tom Green shot. Unbelievable volume. And what they're talking about, the amount of fish, the volume is much larger than it was last year, which there was a lot of fish here last year.
Yeah, I mean, we all had some amazing days last year, and if everybody seems to be saying that's flying over them, saying there's more fish this year than there was last. And then the thing that our pilot found yesterday, Darren, was there's a ton of fish in U.S. waters. We knew a little bit here, a little bit there, but he saw just tonnage up here yesterday. So, yeah, we're pretty excited about that.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. So you posted a lot of those on fishdope.com, right?
Yeah, I think Jason put them up last night, and then I know he put them up on his personal Instagram. I'm sure it'll be up on our Facebook and front page and all that. I mean, there really were some good shots. It showed exactly how much fish is out there right now, and it's
so cool.
Looking promising, man. I mean, you know, me and Ricky loved to catch those ones last year on the kite, and that happened yesterday for the first time that we know of anyway. Some really, really big, you know, near cow class fish.
Nice, yeah. Big, I mean, and I know San Diego had some big fish. I know Pacific Queen had some big fish.
Yeah, Liberty. Right? I know Liberty. I don't know what they had yesterday. I know the day previously they had three fish over 100. And think about that. If you go on the San Diego, you go on the Liberty, you go on any of the good 3/4 day boats going right now, you literally need to be prepared to catch. I think the big fish on the San Diego yesterday was like $1.70 or something. I mean, just
what?
They're just, it's unreal the size of fish that a guy needs to be prepared for when you go right now. If you're going 3/4 day fishing, you need to be set up to potentially catch 100-pound tuna on with a fairly regular basis. And we hear the same thing on the radio every morning. Okay, well we had an epic morning. We hooked 9. You know, we're down to 2 and we're still pulling on them. Hopefully we get one. I mean, there's a lot more opportunity than the counts show for.
Yeah, and that's what. Who was that? I know I saw Buzz on the Prowler. He's headed out today. He's out today. Hopefully he'll give us a call there. But he said that one of the boats had hooked 9 and had 2 or something like that.
That's not just one of the boats. That's a fairly common occurrence. I mean, one of the boats in the fleet every day has a day like that. You know, and that doesn't mean that everybody's having it every time, but somebody finds the right school early in the morning, drops big flat falls on it, they bend half the boat. They lose most of them, and then they get a couple of unbelievable trophies for the few guys that had the right gear and got the hook in the right spot, and all the stars aligned.
Yeah, I'm fortunate that my office, I look over the docks over along the San Diego landings, and yesterday was the first day of the year that they're pretty empty. The boats are out. Yeah. They're fishing, you know. So it's always a good sign to see empty docks because that means the fish are biting.
No doubt.
That's Memorial Day, right?
Yeah.
I mean, this is when everybody, it's so funny because we think about fishing here. There's no off season for most of us that are really, really hardcore about it. But, man, the bread is definitely buttered between Memorial Day and Labor Day. That's when everybody else is out, you know, getting excited and fishing.
Now, you and Ricky were out Thursday fishing, and you showed me a picture of a volume of yellowtail that was just unbelievable. Nice, great fish.
I don't know that even in Mexico or anywhere I've seen more fish more volume in one spot. We were drifting for, an hour and a half without even putting the boat in gear, and it was just wedged top to bottom in 50, 60 feet of water. Like, that was incredible volume, and, of course, we couldn't hook any of them. We hooked 2, got 1 to the boat, fed 1 to Bowser, but we were on that for 4 or 5 hours. I mean, it was crazy how much fish is there.
Why is that fish not biting?
Dude, I don't know. You know, a lot of times it's when they first move into the neighborhood, they don't bite really well. But, I mean, I think they've been there for a while. And I think that the only thing that's hurting us this year, and Rick, you probably, I think, would agree, is we just haven't had that water stability that we had last year. That water from March on last year was awesome, super stable and all that. And here it's been it's been the windiest spring that I can remember. It's been brutal. The water on the inshore side was horrible from Catalina to Colonet, and that's all kind of breaking down. And, you know, here we are seeing tuna off in the backside of the 9 Mile Bank. just a couple weeks later.
Springtime conditions, consistency to weather is so key. I mean, if it doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be the same for a while, and that's what it hasn't been. It's nice for a few days, it's windy for a few days. Nice for a few days, it's great for a day, then it blows real hard the next day. Then it evens out a little bit. Then it gets we just need some consistency in our water and weather. And I mean, you look exactly like what we're saying right now. I mean, you look, it was just okay for a few days, and look how good it just is instantly shaping into right now.
And then it turned into wind.
Now it's going to blow again.
Yeah,
exactly.
So, and then straighten back out again.
But exactly.
Yeah.
It's like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. We don't get that stability, or we haven't had it this spring. Just give us a week and a half of nice high pressure and flat weather. And like we were saying earlier, the fuse is lit. It's a matter of getting, like Rick's saying, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days in a row where the weather lines up, and this thing's just going to go crazy.
Yeah.
They're here for sure.
We're ready for it, right?
I am, man. I'm really looking forward to it.
I just want to go back to that yellowtail thing you said. Never in my life have I ever driven our boat and seen schools like we don't have a sonar. We're not sweeping hundreds of feet of water at the time. You're looking at a small piece of water directly below the boat, and never have I ever run over school after school after. I mean, like screen filling, top to bottom, schools of yellowtail. 50, you know what I mean? Like you couldn't drive 100 yards, you couldn't drive 200 yards without having a different ball of yellowtail on the screen.
Wow.
It was unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it.
Wow.
Wild.
And they weren't rats. I mean, all the ones that we got and saw, they were all solid 15-pound fish. Good, fun size, not break your back type fish.
How about that fish that Harry Okuda caught?
Gosh, man. Good for Harry. How cool is that
was
thing?
that like 44 pounds or something?
49. Basically a 50-pounder.
50-pounder. Congratulations,
Yeah, good job, Harry.
Almost as big as Harry.
That's amazing. New record.
Certainly
for
a half
our
a Harry.
club.
Yeah, that's cool. Harry's awesome, man. It's so cool to see him catch that fish.
That beat a long-standing record, and so stoked for Harry. I mean, you talk about a guy that fishes his butt off all the time. You want to talk about somebody that deserves to catch that fish? That's it, man.
Yeah.
Way cool.
Was that up La Jolla area?
I don't know. Just
local fish.
Some local somewhere.
Yeah.
Rat on Harry for sure.
Yeah, no doubt.
And on a Rapala. Unbelievable.
You got it on a Rapala.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
We gotta love that,
right?
Yeah, for sure. Or a Rapala if you.
No, Rapala.
Okay,
yeah,
it was
sure.
on a Rapala.
If you're from Southern California, it's still Rapala.
Yeah. All right. Hey, like they say, we don't care how you say it.
As long as you buy it. Just buy it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, tell us all about the history. You started Bloody Decks. How long ago?
Actually, Jason started. I came along a couple months after, but that was in 2003. So it's been a long time now. Yeah.
Wow.
I don't think anybody really knew about it till maybe 05. It started to blow up. You remember we had 04, 05. That was some great fishing.
Yeah.
Great fishing. And there was no fish dope, and there was no way to share info. And that's what we built it for, was just so we would go albacore fishing and come in and tell guys like you, hey, we caught them here. Don't waste your time going the other direction. This is what we saw. This is what worked, whatever. And it's been a successful formula.
So it started as an online chat room, right?
Just a forum. Yeah, that's all it was. And then in 2011, we made a big jump where we kind of became an online magazine, and that's where we went to the BD Outdoor side of things and hired editors and, really started putting out quality editorial content in addition to the user-generated stuff.
Yeah. So tell us about today at BD Outdoors. It's a big program now.
Yeah, we've gotten a little ambitious. It's crazy. I mean, we've kind of got our hands in a lot of different things, but the forum and the website are still going strong. We always see the traffic's, always headed the right direction. Social media has become a huge part of what we do. We were really afraid that something like Facebook would hurt our business, and in a lot of ways it's helped us in that a lot of people just didn't understand how forums worked. And even especially advertisers would be like, well, my kid's on this Facebook, and, they're saying that the internet's somewhere where we ought to be. I mean, it really opened a lot of advertisers' eyes up to the fact that, the internet was for real. It wasn't going to go anywhere, and it was the most affordable way to touch a lot of people, And so that's grown beyond that. We started doing fish dope. I think that was like 2009, and 08, 09, when the economy was terrible, fishing was terrible. We had the expensive fuel. We had a lot of stuff working against us, and that all kind of turned in the last 2 or 3 years. Business is real good there, and then the big project we've been doing for the last few years has been local knowledge. We hired a guy that had a lot of talent who used to work for our good friend Jose Wahebe. He kind of showed us the video world. We put out some video stuff, and we really enjoyed doing it. And we're like, hey, let's make a run at doing a TV show. And, fortunately, we got some really good partners like AFCO and Costa who said, yeah, man, we'd support that. And put out a TV show that, I'm really super proud of it. Thank you. I think my guys are so talented. Like, these guys, they're just young, they're aggressive, they're hungry, and it's their show. They tell us what to do. They can do whatever they want. They can nerd out on stuff and putting all that little detail stuff in, the extra time of just shooting bait and, rushing on the cast net and getting in the water and doing all that cool underwater stuff. It's been a fun ride, man. I'm having a good time.
Awesome. And your partner, Rush, such an awesome guy. I fished with him in Florida and the Keys, and just an amazing fisherman.
Yeah, it didn't take us long to hit it off.
Yeah.
It's two different worlds. It's Florida and it's California, and
great concept.
Yeah.
I get to choose when I go fishing. He does not. I'll talk to him on the phone, and he's just like, he just got out of a bar fight. The weather will be terrible, but he's got to go. It's his job.
Yeah.
And it's just two different worlds, and I've learned so much about that fishery down there. And I tell everybody from San Diego here, you have no idea. You think it's tarpon and bonefish and permit. I never even caught a tarpon in Florida until a couple of weeks ago, and the fishing there is just, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
The amount of groupers and snappers, and you can go out any day and catch a 60-pound amberjack. It's almost a nuisance fish.
Yeah.
They've got a lot of options.
The other crazy thing that you mentioned is weather there. They have a lot more weather than you think.
Dude, that's what we talk about all the time is they have wind. Their weather changes in minutes. Our weather changes in days.
Yeah.
It's funny. I'm that guy you're describing. I was like, what I know about Florida is watching flip pallet TV shows, and guys are on. It's nothing but flats, and it's perfect weather all the time. Like I've never been there, never fished Florida. You only get the perception that you get on watching shows and and reading articles and things like that. And I wouldn't have known that.
You're like me, like flats fishing. I could care less. Like that's not my bag. But catching big snappers, big groupers. Growing up here, you don't realize how hard a 15-pound grouper pulls. It's like a 30-pound yellowtail, except it's violent and it's trying to rock you up and
rip the rod out of your hand.
I love that kind of fishing. I'd love to take you guys there and just show you all the stuff that I've learned. It's awesome. And cool. You've got sailfish, you've got blue marlin, you've got mahis, you've got wahoo. There's a whole lot of offshore options.
Year-round.
Year-round. Our fishery is, I would say, not as good, but our weather is what makes our fishery so sweet. And you always want what you don't have. Like, they see us catching yellowfin and bluefin, and they think that's the greatest thing ever. But
they don't know we have to run 60 miles to go catch them, right?
Yeah,
but the good news is that we live in a kiddie pond.
That's true. We've got very favorable weather, and
got Everingham Brothers.
That's the other huge thing.
That is a
huge
cast
net.
Yeah, totally.
advantage.
Yeah.
Every morning starts off the same. It's Groundhog's Day trying to catch bait, and it's usually pretty available. But some days, man, it's just like making mackerel. Sometimes you roll out there and you're a superstar and you get 100 in the boat in a second, and then other days you're struggling. They have the same challenge.
Yeah.
So it's cool. It's cool to see both sides of it. Very fortunate to get to do both of them, And it's cool to show my backyard to someone else and going and learning about theirs. And you're seeing it from a local. It's not, not some dude that's been there running charters for 5 years. He's been there his whole life. He knows.
And that's exactly what is so much fun about the show, Local Knowledge, is you get exactly what you're describing. We get to see all the cool stuff that we don't know about, and then you get to smile and be prideful, like, yeah, that's that's yellowtail fishing. Like, we know all about it. It's fun. It's a rad mix, and I'm the same as Pete, man. I love it. You did such a good job with it. It's really cool.
And it's cool to expose that national audience to an amazing fishery that we have here.
Yeah, and the West Coast guys are like, yeah, we want to show more of our backyard. We're all so proud of our fishery. They're all so proud of theirs. I think it's cool to have somebody else kind of look at it almost like through a kid's eyes who's never seen it before. Rush hadn't fished out here. He'd been out here one time, fished with Pfeiffer, and they had a good trip, but they didn't kill it. So a lot of the stuff for him is brand new, and showing him Baja. They've got the Bahamas. We've got Baja, kind of remote, desolate, but really good fishing if you want to work for it and that kind of thing. A lot of parallels. So I'm hoping next year we can do the Bahamas over there. And then we'll go back to probably Baja over here and go down and fish maybe with Julio again, do those groupers and that stuff.
That's cool. So how do you tune in to Local Knowledge?
You can go to localknowledge.tv. The one unique thing that we're doing is it does play on television. It's on Destination America Saturdays at 4 a.m. our time. So it's super early. Most people on the West Coast are going to TiVo it.
I just TiVo it.
Yeah, everybody does. And then you can watch it online too, either YouTube. We've got apps for Samsung Smart TVs, Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, just about any streaming device. We've programmed a custom app.
Access it right through BD Outdoors?
Right through, actually, localknowledge.tv. We have a link on BD as well. Okay. You can't miss it. It's all over the background right now, especially because we're running new shows. But we don't care, watch it online, watch it on TV, just watch it.
Just watch it.
We want to make it real easy for anybody to access, and I think we're a good ways ahead of the curve being able to watch it on demand in your living room, from your favorite app, whatever it is.
No doubt about it. Let's talk for a minute about one of your other interests, SeaDek, and your great organization over there that Ken runs and that you're involved with. That stuff is unbelievable.
Yeah, man. I saw SeaDek back on the East Coast years and years ago, and I had a friend who was fabricating it because they were blowing up so fast. He worked there, and they're like, hey, why don't you get your own equipment and start doing all the small boats and the one-offs? And I saw a ton of potential in it, and I chased it for years and years, and they just weren't ready to expand. And then Ken was looking for a kind of a new gig, and I had always known that this was something that I wanted to run down, and he put some calls in, and the timing was right. And Ken really runs that day in and day out down there at Dana Landing, and he's doing a great job with it. And I mean, we put it in your boat. I got it in my boat. I wasn't sure if it would hold up to like hardcore fishing, and so far we've been really, really happy. Our boat looks great, and we got about a year of hard fishing on it.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Blue Seas Fabrication is the name of the thing. It's right next to Fast Lane Kayaks in Mission Bay, right there at Dana Landing. But I'm telling you, it is an absolute game changer on a boat. Everybody that has a boat that comes on my boat that goes, I got to get this stuff.
That's the thing,
This
man.
is unreal.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's not cheap.
No, it's not.
It's not cheap. But I'm going to tell you something. If there's one upgrade that I have done to that old girl, the 36 Pacifica that was built in 1976, that SeaDek is one of the right there at the top of the line of upgrading. Not only from a performance standpoint, but also just a
form and function,
total form, function, and looks.
Yeah.
I mean, my gosh.
And when you look at because your boat was just like mine, my deck we didn't have non-skid anymore. We had might skid.
Yeah.
Like it was getting kind of dangerous.
I like that.
You'd be leaning over like the rail to release a fish or something and fall down on your rib cage. Like we had to do something, and it. Very comparable to paying somebody to redoing your non-skid and painting your cockpit sole. It's going to cost you a couple of grand, depending on how big your boat is. But you get 5, 6, 7 years out of it, and if you cover it, the stuff lasts like forever. We're super stoked, and everybody that sees it, like you said, just freaks out. They all lose their mind.
I put it on the interior, the upper deck, and the cockpit everywhere.
I did my galley table, and I did my little kitchen prep area, so nothing slides on it. And then I literally blast it off and hit it with a wet rag, and it looks like brand new.
And that's the thing on the interior. Outside you just scrub it with soap and water. I mean, you get grease stains on it, whatever.
Engine room
just scrub
stains,
it off.
All that stuff just wipes off.
And on the interior, you can't just take the hose in there and blast it off, but you just take a little bottle of Windex if you get a spot down there and you just wipe it off.
That's rad.
It's amazing stuff. So I know I've turned a lot of people on to SeaDek and Blue Seas Fabrication, but that's just I wanted to mention that because I'm so impressed with that on the boat.
No, we're loving ours, and it's funny, like even the Impulse has its charter boat.
Oh, yeah.
They beat that thing up every day.
Oh, yeah.
It's holding up really well for them. We're super happy with it.
Good on the fish. You lay a fish on the deck.
Totally.
It's not going to be torn up. You want to kneel down and do something. You're not going to tear your knees up.
Good for kids. The wife likes it. Your buckets aren't rolling all around the cockpit and that kind of stuff.
You don't have to put any non-skid thing under your bucket or your cooler or anything. Yeah, SeaDek, and it's Blue Seas Fabrication. Ken's doing a great job over there. But as you can hear, Lolly's got a lot of irons in the fire.
We got a lot to talk about.
I don't know how he does it. So we have a lot to talk about today and a lot of fishing to talk about it. So it's going to be a great show.
Yeah, you're not kidding. From travel fishing to inshore to local, I mean, having a guy like this and then so much going on with BD and fishing info and everything in between, going to be a great show today. So much information. We want to hear from you. If you want to be a part of Let's Talk Hookup this morning, there's 2 ways that you can reach us. And first is with our local line, which is 858 area code 457-1090. Again, 858-457-1090. That's our local number. Or you can reach us toll-free. That toll-free line is 877-792-1090. One more time, 877-792-1090. Not only are we talking all things BD today, talking fishing, talking fun, talking trips, we have also got a great prize for one lucky caller at the end of the show today, and that's a complete AFTCO prize package that includes that Killer Horizon waterproof fleece. It includes a pair of tactical fishing shorts and a performance shirt. This is well over a $200 clothing clothing package from our good friends at AFCO, and such a rad set of gear for somebody at the end of the
Awesome
show.
Gear.
You're going to be really stoked. We'll get your size information. You're going to get a custom set sent right out to you, including that Horizon fleece, which is so nice. So again, if you want to get your shot at that or your chance to talk to Ali, 858 area code 457-1090 or 877-792-1090. When we come back, we're going to be taking your phone calls. Lots of great info coming your way. You stay tuned. It's Southern California's sport fishing voice. Let's talk hookup on the mighty 1090.
Are you feeling that itch to get out on the water? Come fishing on the American Angler and reacquaint yourself with some familiar faces and make new friends. Captain owners Brian Kiyohara and Sam Patella take pride in every aspect of the American Angler operation, from their loyal and trusted crew to the sashimi-grade fresh fish you'll take home. It's easy to find a vacation that fits your schedule. We have everything from day and a half to 10-day trips and longer. Call me at the office, 619-223-5414, or check us out at AmericanAnglerSportFishing.com. We want you to become a part of the American Angler family.
The season is here. It's time to go fishing. Hi, this is Doug Kern from Fisherman's Landing Tackle, the saltwater tackle professionals. The hottest new reel for inshore or offshore fishing is the Shimano Tranx 300 and 400. With 2 gear ratios, power handle or paddle handle, the new Tranx fills the gap for small and powerful level wind reels. Everyone knows how great the Shimano Tranx 500 is, so now you have it all. Fisherman's Landing Tackle has the all-new Tranx models in stock and ready to fish. Visit us at Fisherman's Landing Tackle at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego, or on the web at saltwatertackle.com. Fisherman's Landing is the top choice in local and long-range fishing. Our hard-working crew is always looking for ways to improve your fishing experience. We offer the finest open party trips, the best charter boats available, and of course, our world-renowned long-range fleet. Fisherman's Landing is now a full-service sport fishing operation, offering great half-day and now three-quarter-day open party trips. Book online at fishermanslanding.com or give us a call at 619-221-8500. I'll see you at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego.
He's not just my fishing buddy. After 30 years, he's a brother, and I'd sure hate to lose him. His bass boat's got nothing to do with it. So I make sure both of us wear a life jacket. Save the ones you love, even if they don't own a fancy boat. A message from California State Parks Division of Boating and Waterways.
The grand opening of the Big Bay Yachts office at Intrepid Landing continues. Scott Lampy has assembled a first-rate team of fishing professionals and boat experts at Big Bay Yachts to help you find that dream fishing boat or yacht. Big Bay Yachts is the dealer for Albemarle and Cobia boats. Come down to Big Bay Yachts. See and check out the amazing Cobia 23 and 27-foot center consoles. Priced to sell at ridiculous grand opening prices.
This is Scott from Big Bay Yachts. We have incredible boats, incredible values at incredible prices, so ridiculous that people say we're crazy. But not just on stock boats. For a limited time, come see me or one of my great staff, and we'll give you an extra discount on a custom-built Albemarle or Cobia done your way.
Let Scott and his crew show you the new Cobias, Albemarles, and quality brokerage boats of all shapes and sizes. Ready to fish this season. Cruise on by Big Bay Yachts right on the waterfront at the new Intrepid Landing in Point Loma. Check BigBayYachts.com. Great boats, free parking, and a fully stocked tackle shop. Just a few of the reasons Seaforth Sport Fishing is a favorite among anglers. Come aboard top charter boats like the Aztec, Cortez, Endeavor, Eclipse, Apollo, Outer Limits, Pacific Star, El Gato Dos, Alexis, Pride, Privateer, Tribute, Pacific Voyager, and the Voyager. Plus, the new Seaforth, Sea Watch, and San Diego offer the finest half, three-quarter, and full-day trips available. Check out the full-service tackle store at Seaforth Sport Fishing. And it's all run by fishermen for fishermen. 1717 Quivira Road, just off Mission Bay Drive in Mission Bay. Book online at seaforthlanding.com.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the mighty 1090.
Indeed, we have Ollie from BD Outdoors, fishdope.com, talking fishing here, giving away an amazing AFCO prize package. And I know AFCO is one of your great supporters, too, not only on BD Outdoors, but also on Local Knowledge. And the guys from AFCO, Bill, I mean, we were there at the CCA board meeting this week. What an amazing guy he is.
Yeah, just, I mean, really the best quality people you could ever want to deal with. Top to bottom. I can't say enough stuff about AFCO. We love them. They've been very supportive of everything we've done.
Talk about giving back.
Who else writes a check like Bill writes every year? That's straight out of his pocket, man. Yep. He does not have to do that. One of the very few guys in this business that really puts his money where his mouth is.
Yeah. So, speaking of Give It Back, I want to thank our listeners from last Sunday's show, last Sunday's broadcast, which, Ricky, you missed, but it was a great show for Friends of Rollo with Harold and Mike and Steve. We set a record for one-day sales of those Reel-A-Week tickets.
Awesome.
Yeah, unbelievable response from our listeners last week selling the Reel-A-Week tickets. So thank you very much for the incredible response that our listeners produced out there and raised a lot of money to take kids fishing.
That's right.
Thanks for that, and thanks for supporting that great cause of Friends of Rollo. The barbecues that they offered up sold out in less than 60 seconds.
Wow.
Yeah,
Get out of here.
Like, poor Tim Baker. He was taking. I got to throw out a big kudo to Tim Baker because that guy was literally, we said, okay, he threw out his phone number, his cell phone number, and he was literally on the phone nonstop for like 12 hours. On last Sunday. Like he gave up his whole day. So big kudos.
Yeah,
Tim
good
Baker's
job,
really
Tim
the
and
one
Mike.
that did all the work. We just did all the talking, right? But congratulations to all the people that did get those great offers that they threw out there, and good luck on the Reel-A-Week because that starts up very soon. There's still tickets available, so if you want to go to rollokids.org and buy some tickets, get on it. Let's go ahead and jump into the phones. If you want to get through, 858-457-1090 or 877-792-1090.
All right, you got it, man. Let's start it off with Mike, who's calling us from Chino this morning. Mike, good morning. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hey, Rick, how you doing? And Pete, good to see you guys this morning. Hey, I talked to you yesterday, Rick. I'm on my way down to your shop right now with my reels to get that bimini tied. But I wanted to ask you about the flatfall size and color, and what time of day are they getting these big bluefin? Are they morning fish or evening fish? What size flatfall? Does color make a difference?
Ollie, you got any thoughts on flatfall, time, day, size, all that kind of stuff?
Man, I haven't been that lucky on the flatfall the last couple of years. 3 years ago, for me, it was like the hot bait. I know the party boats are killing them on it. From what I hear, it's been a morning bite, and it's those bigger, I think, 200-gram ones that they're using. I mean, you were showing me how to rig one just the other day, how you guys were doing it, right?
Yeah, I think that as far as color, it's just like color's just like anything in fishing. The same reason, the most popular one, the guys that everybody wants, is that Glow 200-gram flatfall, which is going to be out of stock. Which is going to be out of stock until July, mid-July. But the reason the Glow is popular is the same reason the Mexican flag is the most popular feather, and the same reason orange and black is the best marauder. Is 4 or 5 guys talk about it, and on the boat there's 9 guys fishing that one and 3 guys fishing the other 2, and those 9 guys hook 4 fish, and that's the hot color. And the thing with the flatfall is the opposite side of the paint is all chrome. They're all chrome on the other side of the paint, and I guarantee you that's what's making the flash. I can say that's not the tackle store guy saying it. It's better for us to say, oh, you want this one, and whatever one you have, but it's the case. I assure you,
almost
the color
all of them have the chrome.
Does not make a difference. The only one that's not chrome is the purple and black one. That's gold, which I think looks even better. It's purple and black, which is probably the best tuna color. If you're adding everything up, but I can assure you the color just doesn't make a difference. I'm sure of it. I know it doesn't.
A lot of those bites have been at daylight, right? In the kind of the gray.
Yeah.
Are they catching them on the flatfall in the middle of the day?
Yeah, I mean they definitely are. Just like anything else, a lot of it depends on how the school presents itself to you, and everyone's different. Everyone that you approach different. Some get super fired up when you throw bait and it's all right on the surface and it's eating the chum, and other ones are more common, like bluefin, and they'll flash for a second. I would say the most common with the fish right now is they'll flash the bait for a second. The first 3 or 4 guys with baits in the water will hook ones on bait, and then it'll settle down a little bit and usually sink under the boat, and the majority of the fish is deeper. All of that big fish, for whatever reason, is being caught on flat falls or rubber banded sinker rigs, and a much higher percentage on the flat fall than anything else. But like Taro was telling our guys on the Liberty that an ideally set up guy would have a lighter rig, like a 30 to 40 pound rod with like 100 to 160 gram, like 130 gram being perfect, that kind of mid-size flat fall, and then your heavy rig, your Talica 20 with 80 or 100 pound and that 200 gram flat fall for the big ones. But yeah, for whatever reason, sport boat wise, those flat falls for us are just absolutely automatic. They are fantastic.
Yeah. Very good. Hey, thanks a lot for the phone call this morning. The Castman's on the line, but before we get to the Castman, I want to tell you, a week from today, I'll be broadcasting live with Captain Ken Frankie and the guys down in Loretto, Baja, California, sir. Loretto's such an awesome spot. I know you've been there. Have you been to Loretto?
Oh, man, tons of times.
Oh.
We used to trailer down there as a kid and all that.
Such
This time
a
of year,
beautiful place.
forget
So
it. Doesn't get any nicer. Yeah. Hopefully the Dorado come back, man. We were in there last year and the year before, and the Dorado, the sardines just haven't been there, and the Dorado haven't come with them. They've, had the great yellowtail fishing and the Cabrilla and all that, but man, that Sea of Cortez definitely needs that Dorado to come out.
And it looks, this is more of a normal year, and it looks like things are coming back to normal for the entire Sea of Cortez.
That's what everybody's saying. Yeah, they're seeing more bait than the last few years. Yeah. And, I mean, man, that place, when we used to go down there when we were younger, you were done in an hour, and then it was just playing catch and release and goofing off, trying to catch them on a cigarette butt or a hot dog.
That's rad.
Fun stuff.
Loretto's so cool in that it's still old Baja.
Old
Baja. That's the best part.
But they have all the modern accommodations, too.
Easy to get to.
And we'll be broadcasting live right from the Port Captain building right in front of the marina there, which is really going to be fun. And we're going to actually be we're staying there right at that new La Mission Hotel, which is right there next to the marina. Beautiful, beautiful hotel, and hanging out there. But get this, the reason I mentioned the broadcast here next Saturday is the Sport Fishing Association of California has put together, in Kenya over there, has put together 2 amazing prize packages for our listeners. Everybody that calls next week, get this. We're going to give away 2 different packages. One is going to be to fish the tournament Serial dos Mares on August 12th and 13th. It's going to be a package for 2 people that includes 3 nights hotels at the La Mission, 2 days of boat charter, round-trip airfare,
get out of here,
and the tournament entry, which is a special invitation-only tournament entry. Okay?
How cool is that?
So
That's
one of our listeners is going to win that package. But wait, there's more. Then the Villas de Palmar Dorado Tournament, a real famous Dorado tournament, is July 27th through 29th at Puerto Escondido, which is just south of Loretto there. We're going to be giving away another prize package for 2s that includes 2 days of fishing, a day of golf at their amazing new golf course, 4 nights lodging, tournament entry, and round-trip airfare.
That is crazy.
2
no
packages
way. That's
next
cool.
Saturday here on Let's Talk Hookup, put together by all the people down there that's supporting this broadcast in Loretto, as well as the Sport Fishing Association of California. And while we're on that subject about Kenya, it was announced yesterday officially that she is leaving SAC. Kenya.
Oh, no way.
Yes.
Oh.
She is... congratulations to her. She's going to be working for the San Diego Chamber of Commerce.
Wow, good for Kenya.
San Diego Chamber. And Kenya has been such an amazing asset.
She's awesome.
For SAC and done so much for our Mexico relations down there. She lives in Mexico. She is Mexican, and she relates to all that so well and does such a great job. So we're very happy for her in a new career, but we're very, very sad to lose Kenya. Ken assured me that we will not lose step, and we'll lose a little step because Kenya was awesome. But I talked to Ken about it yesterday, and things are still going to be fine in Mexico, and Kenya's still going to be right there on the shoulder of helping us out, too. So congratulations to Kenya. Yeah. We're going to miss her. So we're calling this Loretto trip next week the farewell tour of Kenya, because she always guides us and takes us to Mexico, these broadcasts. So this is Kenya's farewell tour next Saturday, live from Loretto.
That's awesome. Well, hey, with that, it's time to find out what's biting out there. It's time for the Castman's Catch Report, which today is sponsored by Fisherman's Processing in San Diego. Fisherman's Processing is San Diego's finest, and that's why they're known as the Fish Pros. And once you try them, you'll be hooked. They'll fillet and vacuum pack your fish all to your specs, as well as offer the best in smoked fish, jerky, and their famous tuna burgers. Check out fishermansprocessing.com for more details, or you can see them when your trip returns to the San Diego landings. Let's talk to the Castman, Richard Castaneda from Cast Tours. Buenos dias, Castman.
Buenos dias, Ricky, Pedro. Hey, Pete. Now, I heard you, word for word. Anybody that calls next week is eligible for either one of those 2 prizes or both.
I heard it.
Yeah, I heard it. Cass. Yeah, we'll put you in the drawing, Cass. No problem.
You got to put me in, man. I got to win one of these trips one of these days.
That's pretty good, huh?
Yeah. Anyway, Loretto. Let's hope those Dorado come in. Of course, they haven't been around Southern Baja for the last couple of years, and let's hope that they do start to come in. I did get some reports that they were starting to pick up a few Dorado down at San Jose del Cabo area, and that could be the sign of things to come, and I got my fingers crossed. But the fishing there in Cabo is been San Jose del Cabo and Cabo's been tuna. a lot of football-sized fish, and then fish up to 50, 60 pounds, especially up around the Sea of Cortez, up toward Vinarama and the Iman Bank in that area. You know, for some reason, these doggone tuna stay there year-round. It's, I keep saying that. Every report I get, it's just amazing that they never really leave. And it's been some pretty good fishing. They picked up a few wahoo. Striped marlin now, they're seeing a lot, but they just won't bite. So there must be a lot of bait in the water that they're feeding on. And once that bait supply dwindles, I think you'll see a lot better on the striped marlin bite because there's a lot of fish, but they're just not biting. The other hot spot right now is Ixtapa Zihuatanejo. They've been going out anywhere. They got one mark at 15, another at 30. Some nice tuna being caught, anywhere from 40, 50, all the way up to 150 pounds. Bigger fish are coming on the kite, and sailfish and blue marlin are there. And along the beaches, you've got the roosters and a bunch of jacks going on. So some good fishing going on there. Cancun right now. It's a pretty good white marlin bite, and along with the Atlantic sails and Atlantic barracuda and kingfish and so forth. So it's some pretty good fishing there. But that's a report for this week. There's some good fishing starting and happening right now, and I look forward to getting down there very, very soon. Haven't got any trips planned, but I'm gonna wait till next week when I find out I won that Via del Palmar or the other one there in Loretto. But I'm ready to go, Pete. So I got the bags packed, tackles ready. Let me know.
Yeah. Okay, man. We're ready to go. We're ready to go fishing, man. Hey, Cats, man, sure appreciate that great report. And we will talk to you from Loretto next Saturday.
Yeah, and I'll be waiting for my prize, man. I'll tell you.
Okay.
Great.
All right. Very good.
All right, man. Take care.
Thanks.
See you, Cats.
Report this morning. All right.
All right. Hey, when we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way. More of your phone calls, more catch reports, more great information. You stay tuned. You're listening to Southern California's sport fishing voice. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the mighty 1090.
When bad weather and rough seas send other boats back to the docks, Seakeeper allows you to fish longer and fish harder, even in the roughest conditions. Don't believe us? Just listen to what Southern California's own Captain Pete Grosbeck says. He says, we're very impressed with the whole operation of the Seakeeper. We live bait a lot. We go slow, which puts us in the trough. And now basically there is no trough. Seakeeper's newest offering, the Seakeeper 3, is optimized to eliminate up to 95% of boat roll on boats between 30 and 39 feet. Even better, the gyro is so small it can fit inside a customized leaning post, bringing installation down to a mere 2 days. To learn more about how Seakeeper can change your life on the water and to schedule your free demo, go to Seakeeper.com. Take a ride. Be amazed. Seakeeper.
Here's John Ireland for Rancho Leonero.
Ranch is small, it's very personal, very intimate. I don't think there's anywhere else that you could have the old Baja feel and have all those miles of beachfront, the palapa roofs and the stone walls. There's not a room that you don't have some kind of ocean view. You don't give up any amenities at the ranch. It's just very rustic. You know how when you cook outdoors it tastes better? Well, that's Rancho Leonero. It just tastes better. We have paddle boards, we've got kayaks, we've got snorkeling equipment, of course. We've got 12 super pongas. We have dive trips. We've got over 40 kayaks at the hotel. We've got all accurate equipment, very top of the line. And when the fishing's good, we'll freeze your fish, pack it all up, send it home with you. People love it. They'll come back 5-6 times a year. That's the highest accolade we can get. 1-800-646-2252, 646-BAJA. And RanchoLeonero.com. It's unique.
Boating season is heating up with Yamaha Outboard's Season of Savings sales event. For a limited time, purchase an eligible select new 2.5 to 175 horsepower four-stroke outboard and receive up to $750 in dealer credit. That's right, up to $750 in dealer credit with eligible outboards. Reliability starts here. Yamaha. Offer ends June 16, 2017. Subject to change at any time. Other restrictions and conditions apply. See authorized participating Yamaha outboard dealers for details. This promotion cannot be used with any other Yamaha offer.
This is Greg Stotesbury from AFCO. For more than 58 years, the American Fishing Tackle Company has been recognized as the premier manufacturer of precision-built offshore fishing tackle. AFCO continues this tradition today with an innovative technical fishing clothing line designed and built by fishermen for fishermen. From our next-generation waterproof shorts like Tactical or Stealth to our new anhydrous waterproof jacket and bibs, the entire AFCO clothing line is purpose-built with the latest AFTEC fabrics and features designed to deliver for the demanding angler. To find AFCO products, go to AFCO.com
fishdope.com and find a dealer near you.
22nd Street Landing Sport Fishing in San Pedro is home to LA's finest open party fleet, including overnights on the Freedom, Catalina Freelance on the Pursuit, half-day trips on the Monte Carlo, and 3/4-day trips on the Native Sun. Plus, you can charter the Ultra, Spectra, and True Line. There is always plenty of free parking and a fully stocked tackle store. Take advantage of the Wednesday specials on the Pursuit and Monte Carlo, and kids fish free with a paid adult on the afternoon half-day. 22nd Street Landing Sport Fishing in San Pedro. Call 310-832-8304 or book online at 22ndstreet.com.
XECRS 1090 AM, Rosarito, Baja California.
Scott and BR, weekday afternoons at 3 on San Diego's sports leader, the Mighty 1090.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090. Been a busy morning already. If you want to get through, great opportunity, 858-457-1090. That's our local number, or reach us toll-free, 877-792-1090.
You have a question about fishdope.com, about BD Outdoors, about anything, Ollie, about local knowledge, the great TV show that Ollie does, get through and have a chance to talk to Ollie right now. Indeed. Speaking of right now, let's go in the air. Our good buddy Tom Green, the pilot for Sport Fishing Association of California, is on the line. Good morning, Tom.
Good morning, Pete. Good morning, Rick.
What's up, Tom?
Hey, great to hear from you. I posted this morning some of the awesome shots that you did yesterday on our Facebook page and our Instagram page. I mean, there's so many more I'll post up later, but tell us about those shots and what you saw yesterday.
Well, yesterday, we saw some good boilers when we started yesterday morning, and then I worked down to where the fleet was working, and, I saw scattered fish on the way down, Rick, and every now and then you'd see a shiner, but nothing, not a lot. Saw a couple good schools down by the boats, and then in the afternoon the fish came together, and my gosh, there's a lot of bluefin still out there. It was really fun. I was watching three of the sport boats. One of them was a Pacific Queen sliding in on a real nice big school of 20-pound bluefin, and it was fun watching them tag team that school. And then as I went up above and got back on the area of boilers, I saw the San Diego sliding in on the boilers, and they caught a couple big fish. I thought that was pretty fun to watch.
Oh, that is so cool. That's so awesome. And in some of those shots, you'll see a dark spot in the water. What is that, Tom?
Oh, that's the sardines. On the boilers, most likely it's anchovies. I take that back. It's not sardines. It's anchovies because it looked like real small bait. But, the big black spots are meatballs.
They're meatballs that the tuna are up on, and which is what we've been waiting for. That's what kind of kicked it off last year, right?
Absolutely. My partner, when I talked to you last week, my partner had seen the anchovies up above. Well, I think that anchovy sliding down to the bluefin. Man, those anchovies got a lot of problems when they get down there.
They're going the wrong direction.
Oh, man, I'm telling you. That is not
the direction of safety.
So tell us about weather and how it relates to those fish being up. If the weather's up, are the fish down? Do you see that from the air, or are they just still there?
No, they're still there, Rick. I mean, you know what? So, of course, they're just like us. I think they like the better weather. But then some of that you kind of attribute to they're a lot tougher to see when it's choppy. You don't see a breaking fish when it's choppy, So some of it's that. But, they like the better weather. They like the warm weather, I think. They're kind of like us.
Yeah.
That's why we're in Southern California, right?
Yeah, indeed. Now, we talked about this yesterday. You've been flying for the tuna pens, and now you're flying for SAC. Tuna pens are done. Seiners are gone, and it's all ours, right?
It's all yours.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, that's cool. So how long are you going to be flying for the Sport Fishing Association of California?
Oh, God, I'm thinking we're talking maybe 3 months.
Nice. That's great.
Maybe a little more all this summer. I'm hoping. I'm having a blast with the guys. Like I told you last week, they've got some great fishermen out there. The guys are keeping them on. Half the time I go out and they tell me where to go look.
Yeah. So tell me about what you do for the boats in the air. How does that help the San Diego Sport Fishing Fleet?
Well, an awful lot of it, Pete, is telling them where not to go. But then, when I see boilers and they're close by, I'll give them the coordinates and they can run up there and get in the area. Same way with the breezers and the black spots. We try to keep them in the area the best we can. I've got a program worked out with Ken Frankie, and I give him the best locations and kind of give him the parameters and then he fast blasts us out to all the sports, and then that way they can be in the middle of it all the time.
What is it, Tom, that you're looking for when you're looking for fish? I mean, obviously on our boats we see birds, and if we're lucky we see breaking fish. I mean, are you looking for fish that are breaking the surface, or can you physically just see the schools of fish when they're breezing around, or what are the things that you look for that maybe differ that we see when we're on the deck of the boat?
Rick, I could tell you, then I'd have to kill you. No. I look for the exact same things you guys look for. I can see breezers a long ways off. On a good, slick, calm day, 5-6 miles is nothing to see a breezer.
Wow.
So when I'm cruising, I got 5 miles on each side of the airplane, so we're talking a 10-mile swath when you have nice weather,
Yeah.
And then even in the real bad chop, sometimes it's even easier to see the breezers when they're knocking the water down. And then I've seen black spots 2 miles away.
Wow. And how long have you been doing this?
And a shiner, you see a shiner up on a swell, from a mile and a half away, you'll see what was that over there? You go over there and there's the school.
That's so cool.
Well, and how long have you been doing this, Tom?
Pete, I hate to tell you, I've started fish spotting in 1972.
Wow.
I worked on the boats, and I thought, man, oh, man, that looks fun. So I got off of the boat that season, got my license, and the next day after I got my license, I started spotting fish.
Steve Loomis always gives Tom Green the highest accolades and says that, that you were a very good fisherman when you were standing on the deck of the boat, and said you can turn a fisherman into a pilot, but you can't, it's a lot harder trying to do the other direction. And, and for a guy like Loomis that's seen a lot of fish come over the rail, he gives you the highest accolades out there, Tom, because it's different from a guy that knows exactly what he's looking for. Then you give him the aerial view. That's a deadly combination.
Oh, yeah, no, that's the exact same thing I always say. It's easy to take a fisherman and teach him how to fly, because honestly, it doesn't take much to fly, but to take a pilot and make him become a fisherman, that's just a complete different ballgame.
You can relate to that, right, Ali?
Yeah, man, I got my license 4 or 5 years ago, and I've done a little bit of spotter plane stuff. I love it. Just the freedom and the stuff you see. And, I mean, Ricky and I were texting about it last night. I'm like, hey, if you want to go out on the plane, I'll take it. You can kind of see it from the air, and, like, you see some very, very cool stuff, and I know I haven't seen a fraction of what he's seen. But I got a question. Have you ever had a close call out there? Because, I mean, everybody's got it in the back of their head. Something could go wrong. Airplanes don't really break very often or just stop running, but, you want to be prepared for it. When we go, we take a full ditch bag, and we've got a life raft. Have you ever had anything scary happen out there?
Oh, yeah, I have. I was 90 miles offshore one time, Ali, and oil pressure started going away.
Oh,
by the time I got back to the airport, the engine was starting to let go. I was down in Mexico, and I literally, when I rolled out level to the runway, the wheels touched, and when I pulled the power back, the engine froze.
Ooh.
And that was it. I mean, my partner was with me that day, and I always tell everybody I'm not that lucky, but Adrian is.
That's a good thing.
That's about as close as you're going to get right there.
Man, yeah. Adrian looked at me, and he said, Tom, if we were watching a movie right now, he said, we'd call BS on this one.
Wow. That's wild.
Well, and you mentioned Adrian, who, of course, owns Cedros Sport Fishing, who started Cedros Adventures with you, actually. Rick and I, what year was that you took us down to Cedros when it all started?
Oh, my God, Pete. That had to have been 10, 11 years ago?
Yeah, at least. Yeah.
At least. I mean, yeah, they roll by so fast, and especially in this business, it's so much fun. You don't even count the years. It goes by so fast.
Yeah. Well, Tom, we sure appreciate you flying today.
Well, I'm thinking about it. Going to head towards the airport and see what's going on out there. I got a little bit of maintenance to do on the bird, and as soon as I get that done, if I can get that done, we'll jump out there.
All right. Well, hey, we sure appreciate your input and your spotting and your pictures and everything you do here on Let's Talk Hookup. When are we going to hear from you again?
Next week we're going to be at it, and I got the program there with Ken Frankie with SAC, and looking really forward to doing it. It's a lot of fun having a lot of fun.
That's awesome, Tom.
Great, Tom. Appreciate the time, appreciate your efforts, and we'll talk to you next week.
Okay, you guys get out there and have a lot of fun.
All right, thanks a lot. Appreciate that.
Bye.
Let's go ahead and jump into those phones. One line open. You want to get through, here's your chance. 858-457-1090, open right now.
All right, let's jump back into them. Talk to John. He's calling us from San Diego this morning. Hi, John. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Good morning, guys. I wanted to ask Ali how you got your start in fishing.
Oh, man, it's funny because I've got my dad's from Afghanistan. Not a lot of fishing going on over there. No. But the part that nobody knows is my mom's whole side of the family is Irish. My grandpa was in the Navy, and she was a Navy brat, and they lived in the Sierras for years and years or around Sacramento. And so my mom was an awesome trout fisherman. I mean, like, she outfished all of us. You're a kid, you know, you're like 13. Think you're good, you start mouthing off. Dude, Mom would make you look silly anytime.
That's cool.
It was awesome. And I just started fishing the Sierras, man. I had a fishing rod on my bike, and I'd go disappear during the summers. My grandparents would take me up there, and I think I caught my first real saltwater fish when I was like 13 or 14. I mean, I was pretty late to the saltwater thing. I remember catching a bonita back when they'd let you fish off the bait dock. And I was blown away. I mean, all I caught was largemouth bass and trout, and I got this bonita in my trout gear running me around the bait dock for half an hour to land it, and that was it. I was done.
Over. That's
Yeah,
cool.
Never looked back.
And then that's how you started fishing.
That's it.
Mom.
Yeah, my mom was, like I said, an amazing fisherman. And, you know, you're 12, 13, 14, and you didn't stand a chance.
I like the story of BD, too, so much. Like, it was something that you guys built out of need because there wasn't a source for sharing information with buddies, and then the buddies got together and started sharing info, and then their guys jumped in, and it became just this spot for everybody to talk about what they like, and then it turned from fishing reports into boats, and I remember the super, super old days, you know, we're doing boat projects, and look at what we did, and that spurred a guy on, and just it's been very fun to watch the progression turn from a bunch of buddies sharing info to now you look at it, and I mean, just the best writers and the best, I mean, there's so much stuff, there's so much more than just people sharing, and then obviously, when it gets as big as it is, the info sharing is now unbelievable because there's millions and millions of people on there. But all of the stuff that goes along with it, it's been a very cool story to watch progress.
Thanks. Yeah, we came around at a good time, man. I mean, you know, we used to Western Outdoor News. You found out what was biting at the Coronado Islands a week later. I grew up on that. You know, you go to the mailbox, pull that thing out, and there's just the world we live in. I mean, if we don't know within a couple of hours, we're losing our minds, you know. And like now with the cell phones, I mean, we're sitting there fishing yellowtail the other day, texting each other in Mexican one, like, what the heck?
Yeah.
It's an instantaneous world, and that info it's everything, man. That's what we plan around, you know. We know it's going to bite, and all of us in this room are very fortunate we can sneak away during the week. That info's everything.
You bet. Hey, thanks a lot for the phone call this morning. Let's go live aboard the Prowler. Captain Buzz Brisendane's on the line. Good morning, Buzz.
Hey, Pete, Rick, Ollie, good morning.
Good morning,
Sounds like
sir.
you guys are putting together a great show.
Thanks,
We're
Buzz.
out here on the grounds.
Excellent.
Pick me up, Buzz.
No, I read you. You got me now?
Yeah, got you now.
Okay, I just made a turn. So far, fish on the sonar, but no biters. There's been a couple of big ones caught, I've heard, and some of the school-sized fish as well. But I just got to relate a little thing here listening to Tom. We weren't out yesterday. We were in getting the boat ready to go. We took one of his sets of numbers and drove to it in the dark and had about a silver dollar-sized school of tuna there waiting for us.
That's
that
so
one
rad.
swam away. We went about a half a mile and found another one.
Awesome.
So that stuff really helps you a lot, huh?
Oh, it's tremendous. I mean, it really, you know, we've got a lot of good weapons up here in the bridge and one thing and another, but boy, the eye in the sky is as popular among the operators as it is the public.
Yeah. And how's the weather today, Buzz?
You know, there's a little bit of breeze, but there's almost no swell, and that stuff popped up later in the day yesterday, and that's what everybody out here is looking forward to this morning.
Yeah, all those pictures that Tom, if you heard Tom say, he shot them all in the afternoon. So the best is yet to come, I think, Buzz.
Oh, we're waiting for it. We're out here on an overnight trip today. We're back out tonight. We've got a light load. It's a definite go, and we're going to be on the grounds before daylight again in the morning.
Sweet. So if you want to go on the Prowler tonight, overnight trip, you can book right on Fisherman's Landing's website, right?
You can book on the website, or you can call them at 619-221-8500 and ask for the Prowler.
Very good. Captain Buzz,
Thanks, Buzz,
live aboard the Prowler. Thanks for the check, Buzz, and keep us posted.
How spoiled?
All right. Thanks, you guys. Have a good day.
I was just going to say, how spoiled are we with the pictures?
Yeah.
Right? We didn't have that 3 years ago.
Yeah.
We never saw that
All that stuff.
It's just we have so much info now, and we still can go out and strike out. It's amazing.
Yeah. Well, how about today? You know, Buzz calling us on a
right
sat
from the
phone,
boat. It's
right
crazy.
there on the boat. I mean, I remember the days at KMI when we first started Let's Talk Hookup. Almost 26 years ago, we used to get Frank Lopresti calling us on KMI, which is a two-way radio, single sideband, long range. You know, over, hello,
and now they're posting pictures from the rocks.
Yeah,
it's just
we're at Clarion, good fishing. You know,
exactly.
here's the photo of the day,
and you can on your phone or on your computer, you can dial up fishdope.com and find out where it's biting and see the charts and do the whole thing.
Anywhere, anytime. It still blows my mind.
It's a beautiful world we're living in now. Hey, let's jump back into those phones, Rick.
You got it. How about this time we talk to Robert? He's calling us from Capistrano Beach this morning. Good morning, Robert. Thanks for hanging in there with us.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen.
What's up,
Pete,
Robert?
Rick, long-time listener. Always a great show, guys.
Thank you for joining us.
You know, I occasionally do twilight trips out of Dana Point here.
All right.
And I was wondering if either one of you fellows could give me any advice on how to get an edge on possibly getting a white sea bass when we're out fishing for calicos and other stuff like that. I'm using like an 8-foot anchovy rod, you know, a well-suited outfit, but what kind of advantage could you tell me to get if I'm trying to target a white sea bass?
What do you think, Ali?
Man, I'd say fish a bigger bait. You know, a lot of people don't realize that we associate sea bass with squid so closely, but I mean that's not their primary meal. Their primary meal is mackerel. From the scientists have told us, I'd be very patient and I'd fish. You know, I'd fish a bigger bait. You're going to filter out. You're not going to be the guy catching numbers, that's for sure. But if you sit there long enough, especially this time of year, you know, with good current, it could totally happen. No question.
Time on the water is when you said sit there long enough. Sea bass is a time on the water fish, right, Rick?
Dana Wharf is such a great zone for that too. There's so much of that fish up there. But Ali nailed it. You have to be fishing. If your goal is to catch a sea bass, you have to be fishing for one and not wanting to, have such good calico bass fishing, Dana Wharf sport fishing. You're not gonna have 25 bass for the night and hope to hook a sea bass and get it. If that's what your goal is, you have to be fishing for that fish, both with bait and also hook and line and rod and reel that will allow you to catch that fish if you're in the kelp. A straight Power Pro Seaguar fluoro, like 4 feet of Seaguar fluoro and kelp cutter style rig. Because when you do hook a big fish that's in the kelp line, it's going to dust you into the kelp stringers, and you got to be able to cut the fish back out of it again. I mean, it's definitely doable, but the odds of it happening while you're fly lining an anchovy on 12-pound are very, very little as opposed to trying to catch that thing.
Yeah, and the other thing, in addition to time on the water, is if you can spend a day fishing with Captain Brandon Hayward, one-man charters, you'll learn a lot from Brandon going fishing with him, and then be able to utilize that knowledge on your own end there too.
Totally.
So, because he's on it every day. But you look at the time that Brandon spends on the water.
That's not for me.
It's not human.
I don't have that.
I'm sorry.
I mean, I just don't have that.
He's got some
focus.
Superman.
He does, man. He can put the blinders on and sit there for weeks on end. I don't have that patience.
Overnight, up all night.
That's the thing. He doesn't only go every single day, but goes every day fishing for a bite. And obviously he's successful enough that he gets more than a bite. But that's what you're doing. We always say big fish fishing is like trophy hunting. It's not something that you go out and you whack away at them. Like, you've got to, prepare yourself and your gear and everything else to fish hard all day long and probably strike out. That's what trophy hunting is. You're more than likely you're not going to catch. You're putting all these days and all this effort into hoping the stars align, and then if they do align, you hope to get the bite, and then if you do get the bite, you hope that everything, there's so much that you're fishing for trying to get that one thing. That's what he does every single day, and the success rate of putting people on trophies is unmatched.
Yeah,
that guy's got it going on.
Sure. Hey, hope that helps you out. Thanks a lot for the call this morning.
And when we come back, we got another full hour coming your way. More of your phone calls. We got the full catch report. Lots of great stuff coming up. You stay tuned. You're listening to Let's Talk Hookup with the boys from Bloody Decks. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the mighty 1090s.
There's a new kid in town, and they are creating near miracles on boats all over the Southland. It's Blue Seas Fabrication, the West Coast's first and only certified SeaDek fabricator and installer. Install SeaDek EVA from non-skid decking materials on your boat, sport fisher, or yacht, and your boating experience is enhanced and improved. Why? Well, first, SeaDek from Blue Seas Fabrication enriches the look of any boat, old or new. Next, the SeaDek non-skid decking material adds comfort, convenience, safety, and value. The possibilities are endless. Let the experts from Blue Seas Fabrication show you how SeaDek will make your life easier and better on every trip. Their professional staff will custom fit your deck, bridge, and interior with the stylish, non-absorbent, stain-resistant, and easy-to-clean material in multiple textures, designs, and colors. SeaDek offers comfort and anti-fatigue properties for those long days of fishing. It can also be used on kayaks, boat trailers, and more. See for yourself. Check BlueSeasFabrication.com to see how SeaDek can transform your watercraft and truly create a wow factor for the next time you head out. Call them at 858-232-4188 for more information and a free quote. Check BlueSeasFabrication.com and enhance your fishing experience.
Alaska is one of the ultimate fishing destinations in the world. This is Rock Cod Rick, and every year the one trip I look forward to is Kingfisher Charters in Sitka, Alaska. My dad and I have been going for over 15 years, and I just can't wait to go again. No one does it better than Kingfisher Charters. They offer the best service, the most comfortable accommodations, fantastic food, the finest fishing charter captains in all of Sitka, and the ultimate value. Sure, I've been to others, but time and time again, nobody beats Kingfisher Charters. You can catch huge halibut like the ones we do almost every year, and salmon, well, Sitka is famous for some of the best runs in Alaska. We also get plenty of rockfish and huge lingcod. And when it comes to fish processing, the best in Alaska is Kingfisher Charters. And listen to this, it's all included in your package. In fact, everything is included except the tips. It's truly amazing how the Kingfisher crew continues the quality of service they deliver year after year. Come and join me on the Let's Talk Hookup trip in June, or just go when you can. Kingfisher Charters, 800-727-6136, or check kingfishercharters.com.
The Longfin in Orange, Southern California's premier fishing superstore, is having a big event. It's Shimano Day, Saturday, June 10th. This is a tackle sale not to be missed. The Longfin will have Shimano Power Pro and G Loomis all on sale for this one day only at incredible prices. Shimano Pro staffers will be under the tents in the Longfin parking lot to show you the latest from Shimano, G Loomis, and Power Pro. Inside the Longfin, there is a Shimano store within the store with special offers available on Shimano rods and reels, G Loomis rods, and Power Pro line for this one day only. Plus, every rod and reel, every lure, every tackle bag, every item of clothing will be on sale. Saturday, June 10th only. Plus, get one free reel service with minimum purchase and win great stuff in a huge raffle. This is the event anglers wait all year for. Shimano Day at the Longfin, Saturday, June 10th, starting at 7 and open till 7 at the Longfin, 2730 East Chapman, just off the 55 freeway in Orange. For directions or more information, check out the website at thelongfin.com.
XEPRS 1090 AM, Rosarito, Baja California.
Dan Cilio, weekday mornings at 6 on San Diego's sports leader, the mighty 1090.
The Sport Fishing Association of California is taking a leadership role to broaden the fishing opportunities for Southern California anglers. And Saturday, June 3rd, Pete Gray will be traveling to Loretto in Baja California Sur with the president of SAC, Captain Ken Frankie, and his staff to host a live broadcast in the marina area of Central Loretto. The broadcast will feature some key personnel from Mexico Fisheries and help strengthen the ties with the sport fishing fleet in Southern California and Mexico. They will also discuss the great fishing opportunities available in Loretto. SAC's mission is to promote tourism through marine recreation and educational activities while protecting ocean resources. While working together with Mexico, we can show our care for the resources both at home and across the border. Tune in Saturday, June 3rd for a very special live Let's Talk Hookup broadcast from Loretto, Mexico with the Sport Fishing Association of California. Check CaliforniaSportFishing.org.
For local and long-range fishing, the Islander out of Fisherman's Landing is a favorite among seasoned or novice anglers. But Islander Charters is much more than great fishing. They also do incredible Guadalupe white shark diving trips as well as a schedule of kayak mothership trips. You need to check out the Islander on their website, islander-charters.com. The Islander is San Diego's leader when it comes to 2 to 5 day fishing. Watch the website for trips and adventures available. Experience the Islander difference. Visit islander-charters.com for all the details.
Spring fishing is finally here. Will it be another banner season? Will it even be better than last year? Will it cool off? Who knows? Fishing is one thing that's impossible to predict. But when it comes to trucks, it's easy to predict who's going to be number one. Ford F-Series. America's best-selling trucks for the last 40 years in a row. Today's Ford trucks combine legendary toughness and state-of-the-art technology, giving you the best of both worlds. That's called being California smart. Ford has put it all together with the F-150 STX package. These trucks are nicely equipped with an EcoBoost engine, hands-free system controls, a reverse-sensing camera, 20-inch wheels, and a lot more. All at a price you're going to love. Now, I can't always predict what the fish are going to do, but I can predict that Ford is going to be on the top once again with trucks like the 2017 F-150 STX package. It's California smart. Stop by your San Diego County Ford dealer today. They'll be glad to hook you up.